Hello, my name is Robert Helsley, and I have the privilege of serving as the Dean of the UBC Sauder School of Business, and my pronouns are he, his, him. And we want to say welcome. We're so delighted that you're all going to be here as part of the school this year. And this is my colleague, Joey Hogue.
Hi everyone, my name is Joey Hogue. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am the Senior Associate Dean for Students at UBC Sauder. As Bob said, we are extremely excited to have you here. Particularly, we have missed you for a year and a half, so we're just that much more happy that we're all going to be back here on campus together. So Bob, maybe you can tell the students a little bit about your own journey, where you started out and how you ended up here as the Dean.
Okay, I'll try to do that. First thing I would say is that no one should emulate my educational background. That would be a big mistake.
So it's a cautionary tale, is what you're saying.
It's a cautionary tale. So let's see, my undergraduate degrees are in econ and math, and philosophy a little bit. And I went from the University of Oregon to Princeton and got a master's and a PhD in economics at Princeton. And then I came right to UBC. So I was an assistant prof here, associate prof, and all the, went through the normal career path for a faculty member. And then I was associate dean in a couple of different roles, as you are, for a number of years. And then when I finished those roles, I went to the University of California, Berkeley, and I helped run a research center there called the Fisher Center for Real Estate and Urban Economics. And I taught in the business school, and then I came back to Vancouver like 9 years ago to be the dean. So that's kind of my career path.
What is your day-to-day? What does the dean do all day?
That's
no one really knows.
That's a good question. Yeah. Part of what I do is I kind of represent the school in a whole bunch of different environments. So I represent the school at the university level, which takes a bit of time. I represent the school externally to the business community and with our various boards and things like that. I get to work with others to set high-level strategy for the school and directions for the school, sort of decide things that we want to pursue and things that we don't want to pursue. And the key thing there, again, is working with other people. It's a really interesting role. A lot of days it feels like what I do is I just go from one meeting to the next meeting to the next meeting. So I just go where people tell me to go, and it feels like that way a lot of times. It's been a really interesting experience, much more rewarding than I was frankly expecting it to be. I guess one of the things that I would pass on to incoming students is that keep a little bit of an open mind when they're starting about what they really, what they think they might end up doing. Sometimes I meet students who are coming in who say, I want to be an accountant, so I'm going to take every course in accounting I can possibly find for 4 years, and then I'm going to be done. But I think giving yourself a chance to, explore a few things and think about what sort of opportunities would really be interesting to you.
I completely agree. That actually happened to me. As I said, I don't have an undergrad in business, but I have an MBA. And when I had been working in English as a second language teaching, and I decided that I wanted to open an ESL school. I don't think I ever told you this story.
No, I don't think you have.
I wanted to open
Where?
Here in Vancouver.
Okay.
So, because I'd been working teaching, this was, at the time, there are many sort of private ESL schools here in the city, and I wanted to open one. And I thought, well, I know nothing about business. I have to learn about entrepreneurship. So I'm going to do an MBA in entrepreneurship. So I moved down to California, because it's California, and I started an MBA, and I started all the entrepreneurship courses, absolutely sure that that was what I was going to do. But about 6-8 weeks in, maybe it was 3 months, I realized I have zero risk tolerance. The whole idea of taking other people's money and using it, putting it at risk in any way, was just awful to me. I just was shocked how it just was completely wrong. And it really took me a little while to sort of think, okay, if that's not going to work, what's my path? And I had to really think, what are the courses that I love? And the courses were marketing and marketing research and statistics, and I loved them. And I got deeper and deeper, and I started working as a research assistant. And then when I graduated, I started working with a little marketing consulting firm. And then I ended up going into the PhD in marketing and ended up here as a marketing faculty member.
And we're all the better for it.
Thank you. But if I had gone along that path, it just, you just never know what's going to be that moment where something you thought might not be quite what you thought, and send you down a different path.
Interesting. Joey, you just started as Senior Associate Dean for Students about
Yes.
a month ago. why did you agree to do this? What was it about the job that people were surprised when I convinced you to actually take on this role?
Yes.
Tell me about why you think it's important.
Sure.
What do
It's
you
an excellent question. I'll have to rethink it. No, I'm joking. I took it for one reason, actually, really, is I think the most important thing that we do is create a valuable student experience. To me, that's why we're here.
And I knew that, and that's why I asked you to do it.
That's why I said yes. So in this particular job, I have lots of administrative things to do, but for the most part, I'm working with the people that deliver the programs to the students, the co-curricular programs and the curriculum. And so I get to be part of the decisions that are made that really impact the students' day-to-day experiences, the courses they take, the overall journey that they're on here at Sauder, and I take that very seriously, and I feel honored to do it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've been here for a month, but I'm learning fast, and I have a great teacher, so I'll figure it out.
Let's talk a little bit about what we would like the students to know about the school.
So the culture for me is one of collaboration, and I think it's really important. Obviously, when students come in, they are often thinking about the competitive nature. We're competing to get a job, we're competing to do well in classes, but so much more of what makes Sauder great, I think, is that there is a feeling that we're kind of all in this together. When we work to help each other, or to help others, or to help businesses do better, or to help the society do better, then we become better ourselves. And I think there really is a feeling of that at the school, that people really want to do good and they want to help. What about you? What do you think?
I really hope that this generation of students will find a way to engage with some of these big questions. And I know it's hard because there's a lot of other things to attend to, when you're in your 20s. And one of the things that I've sort of felt during the pandemic is sort of thinking then about climate change and sort of realizing that there's no vaccine for climate change. It's a problem that we're just going to have to solve. And it's also one where it feels to me like governments are just not going to be able to do it on their own.
No.
That it's going to take a lot of involvement from the private sector. And I think there's a lot of problems that are kind of like that.
Yeah. In a way, I think that's sort of exciting, because I think students joining Sauder now and coming through the program already here have a very progressive way of looking at the world and thinking about that business does not just have to be about making profit, that there are these bigger goals, more important goals, societal goals. So it might be the perfect time that these big questions are here, but we have people who really want to answer them, and and are getting the skills to be able to do that in the private sector.
Mm-hmm. I bet that this year in particular, because we've all been kind of isolated for 18 months, it's going to be hard for new students in the school to sort of find that sort of courage to reach out to other people and to sort of put themselves out there and make those kinds of connections.
When I first started at my undergrad, which actually was here at UBC, I started here, not in Sauder, don't tell Bob, but I was an English major, and I didn't know that you could just reach out for help. I was actually really afraid. So I got here, and this was before the days of smartphones, so you couldn't look things up. You couldn't sort of look, if you don't know something, you couldn't just check online. You had to ask people. And I was terrified. I was so nervous, and I didn't know how to make friends, and I didn't know how to talk to people. And so I would walk around with this bag over my shoulder where I had a map of the school in the bottom of the bag, and I would pretend I was hunting for something when really I was trying to figure out where I was and what I was trying to do, what class I was trying to get to. And it took me a long time to realize that that's just not at all the case, that people really want to help. And I should have just asked. I should have just reached out. When I'm sitting in class, the person next to me would have been thrilled if I just say, "Hi, my name is Joey. Who are you? Nice to meet you." I think that makes Sauder great, is that we have that sort of welcoming culture where we are a very cohesive unit. People really want to spend time together. And I hope, as you come, I hope that you will do that. You will reach out to the person that's next to you, will say hi. You will make those friends and become part of the wonderful culture we have here.
But I did want to note that there's a lot of kind of alpha types in the undergraduate population, but not everybody is that way.
Right.
And if you're not that way, there's still a place for you in an institution like this.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to want to be in every club. Everybody doesn't want to have to be the president of every organization.
That's right.
And if you find that that is not what is natural for you. I guess I just wanted to make sure the students knew that there's still a place for them here in the school. They will find people that they are comfortable with in the school and find a way to be successful here. So even though it's it's a bit of a high-powered environment and it can be a little bit of a pressure cooker sometimes, it's a big, diverse organization. There's room for people from all kinds of backgrounds or perspectives here.
Yeah, I completely agree. 4,000 students, there is someone. There are people out there who see the world the way you do and make those connections.